This is Aslan with IMTS TV, and this is Rob with Impossible Objects. So Rob, first, how did you decide on the name Impossible Objects?
I wanted to have a name that was that would stick in people's heads. And one of the big problems with conventional manufacturing techniques is that they have so many limited geometries. And so one of the big advantages of additive manufacturing is the ability to produce objects which are impossible to make with machining or injection molding or other methods.
That's fantastic. And tell us a little bit about the Model 1.
Well, the Model 1 is the first machine that produces parts using our completely new and revolutionary process for making 3D parts. So this process is completely different than existing 3D printing processes. It has a number of significant advantages.
So how is it different?
Well, first of all, if you look at the 3D printing processes that are around at the show, they're all really based on technology that is 20 to 30 years old, and for which there have been many years of incremental improvement. But there really haven't been any significant, completely different ways of doing 3D printing. And our CBAM process for composite-based additive manufacturing is a completely different way of making 3D objects. We start with a sheet, for example, of carbon fiber, and we print the layer for the CAD model on it with a fluid. We then flood that sheet, which has the layer selectively printed on it with the fluid, with a polymer powder. It sticks to where the fluid was deposited, and we vacuum off the excess powder. We take all the sheets and stack them in register on top of each other. We compress those sheets and heat them to the melting point of the polymer powder, and they fuse together. The portions which have polymer on them make the part, and we sandblast away the carbon fiber which doesn't have polymer on it, and are left with a 3D part. This process has a number of advantages. The first is speed, because it's fundamentally a two-dimensional or graphic arts process, and so we can run this process at speeds at hundreds times faster than conventional 3D printing processes. The second is material properties. Because we can use materials like carbon fiber, we can get substantially 3 to 4 times in greater tensile strength and tensile modulus, and strength to weight ratios that rival metals and aluminum. Thirdly, we have a much wider variety of materials. So for substrates, we can use carbon fiber, Kevlar, fiberglass, polyester, and we can use pretty much any thermoplastic. So for low-cost materials and high-volume materials, we can use materials like polyethylene and polypropylene, very low-cost materials. You know, our material selection is enormously greater than, for example, the sintering processes. They can't, for example, use something like nylon 6 because the melting point is too high for their equipment. That's not a problem for us. So we have a number of advantages over the conventional techniques.
That's fantastic. And where can our viewers or listeners learn more about the Model 1 and about Impossible Objects?
Well, they can go to our website, which is at impossible-objects.com, and learn more about our process and how to contact us.
Fantastic. That was Rob with Impossible Objects, and this is Aslan with IMTS TV.